I think it is unlikely that a large business that's followed by 20 analysts is widely mispriced or widely underpriced. It could happen, but it's unlikely. I think you could have paid any multiple for Microsoft when it went public in the 80s, almost any multiple for Walmart when it went public in the 70s, and you would have still done extremely well. And so there are some truly great businesses with very long-term moats that just held them for long enough, you would do really well. But I think the better framework is to take the path less traveled. Like when Charlie bought Belridge Oil, it was a very obscure company. When I bought Resas Logistics, I couldn't convince even my best friends who are really good investors to even spend 5 minutes to look at the business. They just said, Turkey, some nano cap, I'm not interested. And I couldn't even get to the next sentence with them. And so I think you're better off being an independent thinker, and you're better off going through some of these obscure names, looking for that needle in the haystack. When you have 50,000 stocks in the world, and if you were to spend a month on each one, unfortunately, God hasn't given us 50,000 months on planet Earth to go through them all. We've got probably less than 10,000 or 12,000. We got less than probably 10,000 months total. And or less than 1,000, I would say. So it's 120 months is 10 years. So yeah, we only have about 1,500 months before we're dead and gone. And if you spent your whole life looking at every business, and you started when you were 20 and you went till you were 80, you could look at 66 or 7,000 businesses or something. It's not much that you would actually be able to get through. Actually, not even 6 or 7,000. You would get through about 100 businesses every 10 years, and you would probably get to 600 or 700 businesses in a lifetime. And that's just doing nothing else. And which means that you would basically have only looked at something like 1% of the full data set. So we need hacks. We can't do it just. And so there are several hacks you can use. One hack you can use is you could go and look at something like Value Investors Club, which has a rigorous membership requirement, and the quality of the ideas posted is well above average. And so if you limited yourself to only companies that have a write-up on Value Investors Club, that's a much more manageable data set. And you could actually drill down on a lot more businesses. If you went down that route, you might be able to maybe look at a few hundred businesses a year. And the good thing with the Value Investors Club is that you get digested data. So you get both qualitative and quantitative data in a pretty digested form, where someone has spent the time to write it up and is giving you the story and all that. Now, you may agree or disagree or not understand the story, and that's fine. You can let things go if they don't make sense. So that's one hack. Data Roma is another hack, which is a site that lists the major holdings of a bunch of great investors. So if it's already gone through one filter, someone smart that you admire already bought it, that's a great list to go window shopping and then hopefully actually shopping in. So you can do some hacks like that. What does Berkshire's portfolio look like, for example? And take it from there. So these are some of the things you can do where you can winnow down that 50,000 stock universe, which is impossible to go through, into something more manageable. And then on the other end of the spectrum, other side, if you end up with one or two ideas that you can find in a year that go through all these filters, that's a really good outcome. So if you're able to find one good investment a year, I think that's a year well spent. And so that's how I would, and that's how I do go about it, is I am a shameless cloner. And I want to leverage what other people have already figured out. Value Investors Club is good. Data Roma is good. And anything I can find out where someone else has already done some work and has some perspective, I would like to understand the perspective and then take it from there.